Hey friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you being here. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subby friend. So today we are going to attempt a Pinterest project. So I was going through Pinterest the other day and I saw this project, and what they're saying is that you can use number 6 plastic. So number 6 plastic generally comes from things like food containers, like the lids on like the to-go containers, that sort of stuff. That's generally the number 6 plastic. This is a container, the aluminum ones that you can bake in and they have the plastic top. That's what this is. This is the plastic top to one of those. So what they're saying is that you could use number 6 plastic and you can make DIY shrinky dinks. Now, I've never tried it, so we're going to try it together and see if it's a win or if it's a fail. Now, so I'm going to cut out the center square, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm actually going to use my Cricut to draw the pictures on my plastic. You can certainly use just regular markers. You can draw on it. They showed, like tracing a stencil or something like that. But I'm just going to cut out this square. The side pieces have ridges, so I don't know what that would do. And I'm going to use some alcohol and take off the little tag there. Now, when I say number 6 plastic, so the number has to do with the recycling code on different plastic materials, and I believe it goes 1 through 7. I think 7 is a mixture of 1 through 6. And so basically on your pieces of plastic there is a triangle, and in that triangle it will have a number, and that number is going to be 1 through 7. Number 6, from what I understand, is one of the plastics that's a little bit more challenging to recycle. So if this works, it will be nice to be able to use it and upcycle it. So I'm going to stick it in my Cricut, draw a picture on it, come back, we'll fill it in with markers to see what some color looks like. I'm going to write some words just to see how that goes, and then we'll stick it in the oven. So you can see I finished making the pictures with my Cricut. I did a more detailed picture to see how that would go, and then I did a very simple picture. I didn't fill them in all the way. I only have fine markers, which is very weird, but I only have fine markers, so to like color it in all nice and even was sort of difficult. So I just sort of filled it in. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut around them. Now, if this works, one of the things that they say, and I do know because I use regular shrinky dink all the time, and like if I'm making a keychain with it or earrings, I always put a hole in it ahead of time. I will use a little Dollar Tree hole punch and put that in it if I'm making a keychain, and then I'll just use a little small drill and put a smaller hole in it if I'm making earrings. So that's what I do with regular shrinky dink. So if this works, I'm going to say that we would do the same thing with this too. So I'm just cutting around them, and I have my oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I actually looked at several Pinterest projects for this. They all said the same thing, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 minute. I set my alarm for 1 minute. I had my oven preheated, set my alarm for 1 minute, and then put them in the oven. So hold on, I'm still trimming them up. Apparently I'm a slow trimmer. All right, so there are my pieces. So just so that you can see them prior to putting them in. And also it says that these will shrink by 2/3. So these are supposed to be 1/3 of the size that they are originally. And that's why I made them sort of big. That way we could see them well. All right, so remember, if you're doing this with children, please always watch them because, we don't want anyone getting burnt, and be careful when you're using your oven. All right, so we're gonna stick them in for 1 minute, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, the other thing is I went back and looked and it didn't say anything about which side they should be placed. Like if it should be marker side down, marker side up. There was no mention to how you put it in the oven or if you flip it. They did say that they would curl and then uncurl. All right, so sticking them in the oven and we'll see what happens. All right, so no such luck. They definitely shrank, and the colors and the pictures look really, really good, but they curled so much. Like, this is nice and hard. I feel like this is harder than even regular shrinky dink. It is definitely very hard. If you could get it to work, like, you would have nice, solid, hard pieces, but I don't know. Look how much it shriveled up. It turned up so much, which regular shrinky dink does that, but it lays back down much easier. Like, this was so hard immediately taking it out. Like, I couldn't even bend it. You can see I broke the one piece trying to bend it. And it was exactly 1 minute. I watched the clock. I set the alarm, and it did not stay in longer than it should. So, I mean, I'm going to call this a Pinterest fail, but I will tell you, the colors look good. The picture is super clear, and the pieces are super solid. Like really solid. So I feel like if you could figure out how to get it to not shrivel up like that, it would be great. All right, friends, listen, have a beautiful day. I'll see you later. Bye.